I am.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Okay. So we're thinking about doing 9 to 10 days. So last year, I believe for at least our church, we came back on a Monday morning, Monday afternoon, we came back, right? So it was 9 days. I think Cerritos ended up coming back on Tuesday. We got different flights and whatnot. So whether we do the same thing, we come back together, whatever that may be, we're looking at either 9 or 10 days. So leaving on Sunday, doing mission work from Monday to Friday, Thursday or Friday, and then from Saturday to either Monday or Tuesday is basically the rest and relax. So it's like the vacation. We'll explore Alaska and whatnot. Similar to last year, there will be time for us to explore. So it's not just work from morning to evening. It'll be, once again, similar kind of idea. We'll do morning stuff, afternoon stuff, and then if there's time in the evening, then you guys will have time to explore and do other things. As of right now, these are the tentative dates that currently work with Alaska and the conference and the potential projects. This could potentially change. We might find other dates at other times. But as of right now, these are the best options. Okay. And I'll explain to you when we look at some of the projects. I know that this might not work for everyone. Once again, this is all just tentative. All of this can change. But we're looking at either 2 weeks in the month of June. I'll explain once again why we're talking about June. But June 14th to either 22nd or 23rd, or June 21st to 29th or 30. Okay. So I know this might not work for some people. This is very similar to last year's dates. Okay. Um, and if there's any questions, we'll save it all for the end. Okay. So just take mental notes or take a note and then ask me questions at the end. The mission projects that right now we have available, this QR code gives you more details of the potential projects. I just listed some of the things, but the first option is going to Camp Tukaskoya. Camp what? All right, very good. Camp Tukaskoya, which is based out in Wasilla. Last year, we were out in Palmer. This is about 30, 40 some minutes away from Palmer. Here, the focus would be simply maintenance and renovation. So those are some of the projects. We'd be cleaning trash, wood chips and pathways, removing tree stumps, painting. There's some cabin repairs like on the floor. They want us to install a sign on the main dock. There's a bunch of other things. Once again, if you want more detailed potential projects that we could do, you can scan that QR code. The interesting thing about this project is most of the projects are already sponsored by the camp. There are people that have already donated, so they just need people to come and do the labor. Um, we would just need to be responsible for food, transportation, and any like donations that we want to give to the camp. This is a camp that is specifically for the youth in Alaska, and they serve a lot of like kind of the underprivileged, the Alaska Natives. And so this is kind of the project here. So there's no real human interaction other than amongst ourselves in Cerritos and here at Glendale. This would be very much a maintenance renovation project. Okay. So that's project option one. Okay. The second option is doing a citywide VBS in Anchorage and doing renovations at the academy there. So this focus would be very similar to what we did last summer. So in the mornings would be a VBS program, and then in the afternoons we would be doing renovation and stuff like that for the academy there. There's only one Adventist academy in Anchorage. The other one in Alaska was the Palmer one, the one that we were there last year and we saw. But this one is in Anchorage. This ideal came about because we were thinking of ways to make impact for community. And Anchorage Junior Academy is the school, is my old school. I went to this school, but it's a school that's dying right now. There's not a lot of exposure to the community. People are not sending their kids. And so what we wanted to do was conduct a citywide VBS with all 8 local Anchorage churches to collaborate for one massive VBS that brings exposure to the school. But at the same time in the afternoon, we would kind of tidy up the school, fix some things. One of the projects that they expressed was potentially building a greenhouse. Obviously, unless I don't know, I don't think any of us are carpenters or contractors, maybe other than Pastor Sumin. But that's a big project that we could take on during the week to kind of help the curriculum and the education at that school. Another thing that we were thinking of potentially doing with like fundraising and whatnot is providing a scholarship for maybe a student that comes out to the VBS so that they can attend the school. So that would be something that we could fundraise and something we can kind of contribute for the long run of whatever student there is. Cost-wise, they're also going to be doing fundraising for the renovation projects. So cost would be, for the most part, minimal on our part. We still would need to fundraise altogether. There would be cost, obviously, for running the VBS if we were to go this option. The third option that we have is simply doing a hybrid of both programs. So we were thinking, because being stuck in Anchorage may not be the most appealing thing for some people, we were thinking of potentially doing a Monday to Thursday or Friday VBS program. And then on the last day, we would go out to Camp Took and do a one-day kind of work bee. The Alaska conference has a thing called Mission Possible. Basically, it's just a work bee every single day for like a week, and churches, people, groups come to do that. And so it's a kind of an initiative to renovate the campgrounds there in Alaska. So we were thinking that we could maybe do something similar to that nature where we would do VBS and then AJA's renovation and construction from Monday to Thursday or Friday. And then from Friday to Monday or Tuesday, basically the rest of our time there, we would just spend at Camp Took, making one of those days kind of a renovation maintenance project day, and also just kind of a vacation. For context, Camp Took is on a lake. And because it's on a lake, it's really pretty. It's like a very, very pretty, like that bottom picture. It is very pretty. I grew up going to this camp. It's nice cabins. It's very like naturey. I don't think there's any hikes, but this is a very beautiful campground. And so we could enjoy it. We could go canoeing. Very beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, beautiful, right? Oh, wonderful, right? So it's a wonderful camp to be at. So it would be a way for us to rest and relax before we head out or come back to California. So those are the three potential options that we have as of right now. Of course, all of this could change. Pastor Sumin and myself are still in communication with the Alaska conference to try and figure out what works best. Part of the reason why the dates are the way that they are, July is off limits because Camp Took has their summer programs. There is potential that the churches in Anchorage may want to do their VBS in the month of July. If that happens to be the case, then and we go with that option, then we'll have to go in July or whatever works on their schedule. So this is why the dates are still very tentative. So I know some people looked at the dates and were like, I don't know if that's going to work. If the project changes or the decision of the Alaska conference changes, then when we go might also change as well. We're also trying to avoid the dates of camp meeting because camp meeting happens in the month of July as well. And then we're not trying to cut it too close to when school starts in August for some people. So June is ideally the date that we are looking towards. We also have to remember next summer is a World Cup summer, which means it's going to be hectic, it's going to be busy, but that also reflects a little bit of the cost. So last year, I think both of our churches per ticket, we spent around like high 300s, low 400s for plane tickets. As of right now, I've already locked in 20 tickets at about $500 a person. And that is the cheapest that they go right now. And those are direct flights. I think Glendale, we learned our lesson last year to not do a long layover. It was fun. Never again. Okay. So a direct flight is about $500 per person. Our mission fee that we are estimating on is about $300 for adult or $210 for students. Basically, if you're under college, if you're college, you're an adult. Okay. So food, lodging, transportation, that's what it covers. Group cost, depending on the project that we choose, it can be anywhere from $2,000 or more. Okay, so it really depends what project we decide on doing. And obviously, I think each of our churches respectively will be doing fundraising and whatnot. And so fundraising can really change the cost per person. And without getting into too much details, because I'm not exactly sure how Cerritos did it, but at least for Glendale, just know that the more we fundraise, things like your mission fee can be subsidized. So then basically all you need to pay is your plane ticket. So depending on Cerritos, depending on us, how we decide to do it, how much we fundraise, the cost can really change. But at the bare minimum, just think that you're paying for the plane ticket and for the mission fee, okay? From the start, okay? That's the amount that you need to be thinking about. One other thing about plane ticket though, if you have an Alaska Airlines membership thing or whatever, and you don't want to be a part of the group discount, that is the discounted price, by the way, and you want to go on mileage and you have the mileage, then you're able to do that as well. You just can't be a part of the group ticketing. Okay. So that price may be different. So if you have your own ways, if you have your own points, travel points or whatever, you're able to tap into that. I'll give you the dates and the times so that we can match kind of when we land. But that is an option as well if that price is a little high. Okay. Let's move on to the next thing. What everyone wants to know, right? The mission trip theme and the t-shirt reveal, right? Because that's the most important thing. What are you going to wear when you're in Alaska? So our mission trip theme this year is kingdom building or building God's kingdom. It's based on Ephesians 2, 19 to 20. Consequently, you are no longer foreigners and strangers, but fellow citizens with God's people and also members of his household, built on the foundation of the apostle and prophets, with Jesus Christ himself as the chief cornerstone. And so this mission trip, we want to focus on this idea of how do we build not our kingdom, but how do we build God's kingdom? And what greater way to do that? Well, you're out at an actual mission trip. Okay. So the back of the t-shirt looks like this. The front will basically just have CKSDA, GKSDA. Are you guys not impressed? Okay. Here are some of our models. Modeling. Oh, beautiful shirt, right? So Pastor Suman and myself, we modeled these. They look really good, right? Okay. So these are the t-shirts, and that is the theme for the mission trip next summer. So so we're having a meeting. Sorry, there's construction going on here. So we are very excited. Pastor Suman and myself are very excited to take any missionaries that are interested onto this adventure as they learn a little bit more about what it means to build God's kingdom. Now, at this time, I want Pastor Suman to share a little bit about something called the Bible Boot Camp that we're going to be initiating when it comes to actually this mission trip. So, Pastor Suman, could you please share?
Hello, everyone. My name is Pastor Sumin. I am in charge of Cerritos Korean SDA. The Bible Boot Camp is a new camp that we are creating for next year at the month of April. This is something that we're newly piloting on. It is about having our youth kids to study or to let them know how to study your Bible. Most of the times we were grown up in the church, but we still don't know how to read or how to do our daily devotions from the Bible, which is why we highly depend on the message from the church, which is not bad, but also we're trying to, have our kids study your own way of studying Bible. So starting from the top, it's going to be mostly for junior high school kids as a participants, but we would need some leaders from college or young adults as well. If any of the parents would want to come as a chaperones, that is highly available as well. But we would also want to highly encourage, also force all of the applicants for our Alaska mission trip to be part of this. The reason why is because most of the times we go to mission trip or we go to our camp meeting, and it becomes a spiritual high for one season. And then once we get out from that, it is nothing. Nothing is happening or nothing's changing from our own daily lives. So to prevent that, we would like to provide a spiritual training for all of the missionaries that are being part of our Alaska mission trip. So anyone who is thinking about joining Alaska mission trip would have to eventually go through this threshold of Bible boot camp. If you're still in junior high school, you would have to be participants. But if you're in college or grad school, or if you are a parent of your kid, you would have to be there to help out with this Bible boot camp. There are going to be Cerritos Glendale Church, but also we're trying to get South Bay Church and Valley United Church to be part of this. The location is going to be Camp Pine Springs Ranch. So it is, again, going to be spiritual training and preparation. If you want to go to Alaska, please plan on attending this boot camp. The speaker is going to be Pastor Daniel John. I think Glendale would be familiar of who it is. Pastor Daniel John is a head pastor for CKSDA, Collegedale Korean SDA Church in Southern. So many of you know who Pastor John is, and he wrote a book himself of how to read your own Bible. I forgot the book title, but he is going to pretty much unread, how to go through your whole Bible. So the date, please mark this on your calendar, April 10 to 12, 2026. If this works out with your calendar, please, make sure you plan on registering yourself. That'd be all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. So, as Pastor Suman shared, this is something a little different that we're doing this year. We recognize the need for that spiritual component. And so we want to thoroughly prepare you guys. And so please mark your calendars. We'll have more information out for everyone. It's just a weekend, okay? And it'll be spiritual preparation and enrichment. Okay. So this is the Google form that I need you to fill out. If you are interested, because this will give you the opportunity to vote on which project you would like to do. Okay, so I'll give you the time to scan this QR code. Not me, yeah, but okay. Scan the QR code. The deadline for this is basically the end of the year. Okay, so you'll have some time to pray about it, time to think about it. Pastor Sumin and myself will nudge you guys and remind you guys. So this is for if you are like very serious, you heard everything, you're like, I'm on fire. I want to go on, not literally on fire. I want to go on this mission trip, and I want to, go to Alaska. Then please scan it and fill it out. So there are a few things there. And that's it. That's all I have as of right now. So we'll, once again, after December 31st, we will host another meeting with kind of the results, but also if we get more information from the Alaska conference, then we'll share that. We'll also be looking right now into the group plane tickets after the holiday season is over to see if they do go down. The Alaska Airlines did tell me that usually right now is when it's the most expensive. So we'll call again and we'll see if we can look at the other flight options. And if it does get cheaper, then that's a win for everyone, right? So we will double check that. We'll keep tabs on ticket price because I know it is a little bit more than it was last year. So, all right. Any questions? Please ask now.
If the price goes
Oh.
down after we purchase it, does Alaska Airlines refund us?
So I did not purchase the tickets. The way the Alaska group discount thing works is you put in the reservation and you don't pay. I think they changed it, but basically 60 days before departure is when we have to pay for it. If we don't pay for it, then we lose those seats and the price. So I put in the reservation, but there's no payments or anything as of yet. We're probably not going to check plane ticket prices that close to the mission trip. It'll probably be locked in January, no later than February, is what I'm thinking right now. So, yes. Cerritos, I see a hand.
VBS workshop training.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Pastor Singh. So if we do the second option or the hybrid option, there is a VBS workshop. So last year, Cerritos, thank you, Cerritos, took all the load of preparing and leading out in VBS. This year, our plan is to do more of a collaborative effort. So that means if we end up doing a VBS option, there's a workshop that is hosted by our conference that we need to attend. Okay. And so ideally, if everyone can attend, that's great. There is a fee. Obviously, for Glendale, we'll talk about it with the church to see if the fee can be covered. But if we end up doing the VBS route for whatever option, then it is absolutely imperative that you go to the workshop. It's on a Sunday. Location, we don't know yet. But when location, oh, do we know location?
Last year was Temple City SDA, but it's
Okay.
not that far away from here this year as well.
Yeah. So maybe Temple City, wherever location is, the point is, if we end up doing a VBS option, then there's a little bit more commitment, at least from Glendale, to also be a part of those workshops so that we understand what VBS is going to be like. And we'll designate leaders for each of the stations, one from Cerritos and one from Glendale, so that it's more collaborative. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. Thank you, Pastor Sumin, for reminding me. Is there any questions? Glendale, Cerritos? I see Amir's hand. What's up, Amir?
Anybody like activities?
Wait, what do you say? I can't hear.
Is there going to be any activities after the mission?
Oh yeah, of course. We're gonna throw people into the lake and yeah. So the activities will obviously we'll decide the more specifics to the activities when we get a little bit closer. The most important thing right now is we're gonna figure out the mission, and then we can decide the activities afterwards. So don't worry, I am your trusted tour guide. I will. It'll be fun. Some people don't believe that. Yeah. People are skeptical. Okay, anyways. You guys didn't like the cruise last year?
I did.
It was fun, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Trust. Okay. Yes, Jasmine.
Now, or like this, it's always bright.
Yes. If we go in June, I mean, anytime in the summer, it's going to be the same. So conditions will be exactly what they were last summer if you went. Okay. Any questions, Cerritos? Any questions? Oh, yes, Daniel.
So, for the boot camp thing, like,
Yes.
you can't go. And if I wanted to go to Alaska,
Man, that's
Yeah.
yeah. So obviously there will be some exceptions that are made. I think for people that are not obviously in state and unable to attend, we will figure something out for you. But like Pastor Sumin said, we really want to make this a mandatory thing because we want to make sure that you guys are not just going for the sake of Alaska, but you're actually making a commitment to spiritually grow and learn and really make the connection between the spiritual aspect of mission. And so for those that are out of state but still want to go to Alaska, we'll figure something out, Pastor Sumin and I. Yes.
Pastor Tim, is there going to be a dedicated chef like last year, like cooking team?
So no. Well, so actually, I don't know. The reason why I say that is last year, Glendale KM was the designated cooking team. They expressed to me last year that if EM has like a full mission team or we have enough people, then they'll step aside so that EM can kind of participate more. I think last year was a unique case because we didn't have a lot of parents going per se, and it was more of like younger people, and so they wanted to come and kind of serve in that way. So really, it depends on our next meeting. I think we'll have a better idea of whether we need a cooking team or not. But regardless of the mission project that we choose, so if we're in Anchorage doing the citywide VPS, then we actually need to designate our own cooks. If we end up doing the Camp Took the whole week, that one also we would have to figure out our own cooks. And so, yeah, so that's something that we'll figure out on a later note. I think by the next meeting, we will know for sure if we need a cooking team or not.
Pastor Tim, do we have a cap for the number of registration, or do you
So-
have any age limit?
Yeah. So one of the things that we really want to emphasize this time is, in terms of age limit, we want to highly encourage, correct me if I'm wrong, Pastor Sumin. Let me just look at our chat. Sorry. So if you are under junior high, so if you're like elementary and below, then we ask that your parents come with you. So you're not just sending, just the child, because we don't want to be babysitting your child. No offense. We love your children, but no babysitting. Okay. So if you want your elementary aged kid to go, then we are requiring that at least your parents come to make sure they provide. In terms of the cap of how many people, we are wanting to have similar numbers as last year. So I think the absolute max would be 40. But I think last year we had what, 30? You remember? 30 something?
37, 8.
Yeah, it was almost 40. So absolute max is going to be 40. So once you commit, then we're hoping that you actually commit all the way. So 40 is the max. So we'll have an official, this QR code that you scanned earlier, this is not your commitment to the mission trip, okay? We will have another one where you will fully commit, and then that's when we'll solidify our list. This is more of like you're seriously interested, and we want to hear your opinion on the actual mission thing. So
so that's 40 for both churches.
combined, yes, yeah. Yes, combined.
So 20 per church, right?
Yes, essentially. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone from Cerritos? Anyone here? Yes, Candace.
So, what's the drop dead night action?
So we're basically going to follow Alaska Airlines policy. So 60 days before we depart, whatever the departure day we decide, that'll be the absolute deadline for you to drop out. Because once we buy the ticket, then it's under your name. I think the nice thing about these group tickets, though, is that if you end up not able to go, I think they give you a credit for a whole year, and you can still use that. But the problem is then we lose a spot. So we'll just follow that kind of guideline. So basically, if we leave in June, then the absolute deadline will be in April. Yeah, and basically when we pay. Well, so what we did last year, I don't know how Cerritos did, but Glendale, the church paid for all the tickets, and then you just basically paid it back to the church. So we'll set the deadline for that another time. But in terms of like your commitment to the actual mission trip, we'll just basically say 2 months before we leave is the absolute like latest that we can add someone to the mission crew. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, do we counselors?
Yes.
Is that ever going to be an option, or is that an option?
So I can re-ask and see if that is an option. And once again, in the Google form, if you can mention that, then that way Pastor Suman and I will take a look and then kind of see if it is an option. They may have already filled in all those positions for the summer, but that was not something that was presented to me. So I actually don't know if they're looking or if they already have people for that. If that is the case, then it would be in July. Is when the mission trip would happen, because that's when the month of July is when they do all their summer camps.
Kids who are in school, because school schedules usually do not come until the first quarter of the year.
Mhm.
And then if they have some school, a lot of them, it's like all of June.
Right.
Some of them start getting out in July and maybe later.
Right. Yes. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, the full commitment to the mission trip, the next meeting we'll have a better idea of where we're going to go and then when we go. And then I think from there, people can kind of decide whether or not. So we're going to try accommodating as much as we can to, summer school schedules and things like that. So hopefully for people that want to go, we can make it happen. So yes, John.
If we do camp, sir,
Yes.
do we need to worry about transportation from Anchorage to the location?
Yes. If anyone has a commercial driver's license and can drive a bus, please let me know. That would be super helpful. Otherwise, Pastor Sumin or myself will go get our licenses or something. So from Anchorage, it's about an hour and a half, give or take. Yeah. And then we have to take a boat to Camp Tuk. It's like a short 5-minute boat ride. It's really pretty though. I mean, it's wonderful. I love Camp Tuk. But anyways, yes. Yeah. So if anyone has a commercial driver's license, that is helpful. The conference has a bus that we can borrow, but I don't have a license. Pastor Sumin doesn't have a license. So yes, if you have a license, that would be great. If not, we will find out transportation. All those details we'll figure out as we get closer. Cerritos, any questions?
We're good.
You guys are good. Amir, do you want to say something? Oh, is a thumbs up?
Is there any gonna be camping?
Are we going to be camping? Well, it depends where. So depending on project, maybe this will help your decision. If we're at Camp Tuk, we sleep in the cabins. There is a shared bathhouse, guy side, girl side. It is not like a motel. It's not like nice or anything like that. It is cabins. If we were to stay in Anchorage, please, I hope this is not the reason why you choose Anchorage over Camp Tuk. It'll be more like sleeping at the church, potentially sleeping at the school in like tents. There's a conference office not too far that has guest rooms as well, that has bathrooms in each of the rooms. Okay, but please do not make that the reason why you choose Anchorage, okay? Because if that is, I will make you sleep in a tent outside. And you will use Mother Nature, okay? But jokes aside, yeah, sleeping arrangements, that's what it'll look like. So if you were in Alaska last summer, Camp Tuk is more like what we did this past summer. And then the Anchorage one would be more of like the vacation days past summer. A little bit nicer. Okay, any other questions, thoughts, concerns, issues, problems, complaints? Suggestions? All right. Most importantly, if everyone could please pray about this mission trip. Obviously we have high hopes and aspirations of going again, but we want to make sure that we're following God's will and not our own. And so let's always make sure that we uplift this mission trip, our decisions, our planning for the next year, all in prayer. And God willing, we'll be able to go and serve the people of Alaska. And not only will it be a blessing to them, but a blessing to us as well. Let's continue to pray also for the camp and for the school, for all the people there, for the people that we're going to be able to interact with and serve. Let's pray for them as well. Okay? So at this time now, Pastor Sumin, do you mind if you could have a word of prayer? We'll wrap up our meeting for today.
We will do. Let's bow our heads. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us all together for another Heart of Mission. The Alaska mission that we went on this year was so much of a blessing for each one of us, and we want to present and also envision for next year as well. As we plan and as we dream about going to Alaska again, the people that needs our mission and our volunteer, Lord, bless all of our hearts, but also bless and remember all of those souls in Alaska, that may the work be prepared by your hands and may be done by your will. I thank you and we praise you. I pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you, Glendale. Thank you, Cerritos. Thank you. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Pastor Tim.
Then bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mir.
Bye.
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 Okay. See you guys.